Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control.
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Joe Reichel is in the studio from Damage Control. The show is called Damage Control. Damage Control Restoration. Disaster Restoration Services. I'll get the name right.
Joe Damage is in the house.
You would think I would have known the name of the company by now. I see it everywhere. I see you guys everywhere. Your faces, your likenesses.
Our likenesses.
This is a great time to call Joe if you have a question about something in your home that might be damaged that maybe you're trying to fix yourself and you need a little hint or two, or perhaps just some direction on how to approach somebody who would be a professional at that. And the damage can come from anywhere, we've learned over these years.
Well, Friday night, for example, we had those torrential rains that hit Ocala, and one homeowner called. She had water rushing in her house from outside.
From what?
Just the rains. It had
rushing in.
Water had come down a hill area and come right on into the house.
And it hadn't done that before?
Smaller amounts.
Wow.
But she sent me a video, and there was 2 inches of water in her back porch.
Did you have an idea that stopped it from getting worse?
Not right away. Not right away. No.
Wow. What would you do? A sandbag or something?
Well, you could, I guess, but I mean, what she needs is to have the ground sloped a little bit better so that the water doesn't wash towards her house, but would wash away from the house. So, a little bit of quite a bit of work's going to have to take place, and she's working with her homeowners association in order to make this happen.
Do you know water? And I'm not trying to be smart here, but water and moisture are the same thing,
right? So far, I'm with you, Larry.
I'm leading up to a question actually about this. And
okay.
So I'll tell you my experience. I had my windows down one time, and rain got in the car.
Okay.
No problem. I mean, I'm not a big fanatic about raining in the car, but anyway, so I'm parked out in the parking lot. I can't remember if it was here or somewhere else, but anyway, come out to the car after the car is sitting in the hot sun all day, and that water that was in the carpet and in the seats.
I like that guy's shirt.
Are you listening?
I am. Water in the carpet and seats.
The hot car.
Now is this water or is this moisture?
Well, it was water.
Okay.
And then, because of the heat in the car, all that moisture in the seats became moisture in the air, and it literally messed up my radio/CD player.
Yep, it'll mess up that. It could be a problem with your if you had electric windows.
Yeah.
Could be a problem with that.
That might be my window problem. I have a window problem.
Could be.
But I'm wondering, in a car, it's kind of a closed, airtight environment. And the moisture got to the things way above the water line. There was no water line, really, in my case. So that could happen in a house, too, right?
Well, if you get... here's the thing. You get water coming in. And, for example, another one of the floods that we had Friday night was a hose bib, which is the connection outside your house that you attach a hose to.
Okay.
That faucet. That's called a hose bib. The hose bib is leaking and water is coming down the wall and into the house. So what this has done is caused, not only is it causing damage on the outside of the house, but you've got water coming on the inside and, ruining the carpet now. And whatever's sitting on the carpet.
Right,
for her, she's got a nightstand on there, and it's caused problems with the nightstand because it's all waterlogged now too. Then she calls me, left a message this morning. She's got ants everywhere, and these are the carpenter ants, and they're
coming for the water.
They're coming because of the moisture, which is causing some rotten wood, which is causing them to be interested. So. Anytime you have water where it's not supposed to be, you're going to have compound problems. If conditions are right, which means temperature and elevated humidity, mold can start growing if you have a water source, and that mold can start growing as quick as 12 to 48 hours after
Wow.
water loss.
Wow.
So, that's just another one of the potential problems for.
So does a dehumidifier solve that problem?
Yes. Dehumidifiers and fans. The fans circulate the air, and the dehumidifier dries it out, getting the humidity levels where they're supposed to be. So it gets all the moisture out of the air.
And you have a phone call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Joe Reichel.
Yeah, morning, Joe.
Good morning.
What is your opinion on the decorative wood chips that you would put up to a building in between bushes around your house? It looks good. Is there a possibility that when they get wet, it takes for a while for them to dry out? Are we talking maybe a mold problem, maybe a termite problem, or would it be better to maybe go with limestone or something else?
Well, really, that is a homeowner's choice as far as what you think looks good. Here's the deal with any type of landscape materials. If it is directly against the house or whatever, you've got to make sure that outside vegetation or mulch or whatever's there is lower than the inside flooring. So pretty much if it's built up or a lot is, it's real tight to the house, you got mulch, it's up high, especially if you have a wood frame house or wood siding and it's down, and the mulch is right up to that siding, any type of siding really, the mulch is right up tight to that as far as the level, the bottom of it, you can have moisture problems because that is trapping moisture and it is getting in. And, if you have moisture problems, you're going to also have insect problems, whether it be ants or termites, anything like that. As far as mulch attracting termites, you really don't need to worry about that because of the way that it's usually a cedar mulch and it's not something that termites are attracted to, and they treat that pretty good. What you do have to worry about is the moisture, and once you have the moisture, then you have the other problems as well. So anytime your elevation...
Stucco, would that be a little safer than wood?
Well, stucco is safer than wood. The only thing there, what's keeping that moisture out of your house is the paint. That's where, that's what creates a seal on that block, on that concrete and that block. Block is not, or stucco is not watertight. Unless you paint it. So, use a good concrete primer and paint in order to make that. And that's why if you're going to get your house repainted, you have a stucco house, you're going to want them to dig out a little bit along there, just a shovel width or a shovel, depth. You don't have to go real deep, and make sure that paint gets down below or down to the ground level at least.
Oh, wow, I never thought of that.
Yeah. And that's what's creating your watertight barrier.
A friend of mine who is going to relocate down here in Florida. I have an all brick house, but he asked the question. He's looking at homes, and most of the homes down here are stucco. How often, on average, do you usually have to repaint a home like that? Do they last pretty long, or what's the deal?
Well, and that's a very good question because that comes right down to any other question as far as how long is a product going to last. There are different qualities, and I'll just share an experience. I had to do a little project for a friend this weekend, and I went to Lowe's to buy paint, and I'm ordering paint, and the guy's question was, I told him I needed exterior water-based paint, and he said, "Is this for your house or a rental?"
Really?
That was the question, and I think I thought I knew where he was going, and I said, I don't really know the difference. What would make the difference? And he said, well, typically if somebody's doing a rental, they use a lesser quality paint. And I says, well, I want a very good quality paint regardless of where it's going.
Okay.
And the reason I'm saying this to you as the caller is whatever quality of paint you get is how long it's going to last. So, you can buy paint for $10 a gallon all the way up to, $50 a gallon. The higher quality of paint, the longer it's going to last. Also, if that block or that stucco has been primed, it's going to last longer as well. So you always want to make sure you put a primer coat on and then your, coats of paint. So
You use an oil-based paint?
for stucco, you would probably want, I'm guessing here, I don't know that I've ever used an oil base, not that you can't, but typically they're going to be a water-based paint.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, that was an interesting answer that he had for you. Let's take a little break.
Break time already?
I know, it goes quick, but we'll be right back. I promise.
Excellent.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Partly sunny skies today with a heavy thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 91 to 93. A shower or thunderstorm in spots early this evening, otherwise clear skies tonight, low 72 to 75. Tomorrow feature partial sunshine with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 90 to 92. And partly cloudy skies tomorrow night, low 72 to 75. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Stephanie Omo.
This weather brought to you by A&A Lock Dock. Did you know that most break-ins happen during bad weather because it masks the sound? Don't be another victim. Protect your home and business today. Call A&A Lock Dock, 352-867-1965. That's 352-867-1965.
WOCA AM 1370.
96.3. 96.3 FM.
Robin, how do you like my design?
You're designing a box?
That's not a box. It's a doghouse.
Rough draft for your rough? Sounds like you need personal service.
I do?
Yes, to print the blueprints. See Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can print blueprints, notarize permit applications, print and mail out invoices, and even provide great-looking business cards.
Personal Service Center. That's the one on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, right?
Just look for the yellow signs. Your pedigree palace will be a reality in no time.
Hey Adam, those burgers gonna be done before summer's over?
Maybe. Why? You got big plans for the summer?
Not really. Just the usual, kids hanging around the house. How about you?
Actually, I'm having Joshua get his pilot's license this summer.
What? Is he old enough? Can you really do that in just the summer?
Yeah, you can get your pilot's license at 17, and the summer is plenty of time. Plus, this could be the start to his career as an airline pilot.
That is a great idea. I bet Tyler would love that. Actually, I would too.
You guys should do it.
I don't have time for that. Some of us have to work for a living, you know?
Not you, no. Seriously, they work around your schedule.
Really? That's cool. Where are you going?
Ocala Aviation at the airport off 60th.
How'd you hear about it?
I heard about it on the radio, then I stopped in. I've got a card if you want the number.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my phone.
Hurry up, the burgers are burning.
Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
861-7484.
Hold on, I missed a number.
Ah, such a slacker. Here it is again. 861-7484.
Excellent. I'm gonna call them now.
How about we eat before you start your new adventure?
That's probably a good idea.
You think?
Across the nation, people are stepping up. They're leading the way and walking to end Alzheimer's, the 6th leading cause of death in the nation. Together, we can reclaim the future. Walk to end Alzheimer's. Start a team. Join a team. Go to alz.org.
The walk is at Tuscaloosa Park, September 6th at 8 a.m. This message sponsored by Camelot Chateau, a breath of fresh air in assisted living.
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com.
All right, 11 minutes before 11 o'clock. Joe Reichel is here taking selfies, and your phone calls are an important part of this show. If you have a question for Joe, the number is 622-WOCA. This is the month that changes summer to autumn, and here in Florida, do we have... Oh, nice.
That's a pretty good one.
Nice selfie.
Nice selfie.
Selfie with the WOCA logo.
That's why I did it.
So do you have things like up north? I know you're from Pennsylvania originally, right?
Right.
Right over there.
Yep.
You somewhere in the next few weeks, you might be taking the screens down and getting the storm windows out. I remember that as a kid, and we don't need that information here. I don't think. Do we? No.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of times people, especially your snowbirds or whatever, people are winterizing their homes or getting them ready, in order to be gone for a while. But we typically don't have that here now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, some of those people leave their homes empty.
Yeah. That's typically during the summer months, though.
So I'm going to say...
Here, they're leaving them empty during the summer months.
Oh, that's right. They come here in the winter.
Right.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what? I'm going to make people mad at me with this, but I've always thought I don't really want to be anywhere where there's a homeowners association. And
they have good points and they have bad points.
But if I was a snowbird, I definitely would be in a community with a homeowners association, because then I feel like there's a protective thing while I'm not there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Including contacting me if a tree falls on the house.
Right.
Which I guess...
Well, and here's the thing, and that's where I think I would always recommend people have a good relationship with their neighbor.
Yeah, that's always good.
And a lot of times, and I think that's a lot of it's just the time in which we live, and we're busy, or always on the run or whatever. We never really might wave to our neighbor, but I think gone are most of the days where people actually really sat and talked with their neighbor. For example, a good cause for that. My father-in-law was home one night or one afternoon, and the neighbor's house caught fire.
Oh man!
And he rushed over there and was able to get the dog.
Oh wow!
Nobody was home, but then he called and got them. Told them, hey, your house is on fire after they called 911.
What happened?
It was destroyed.
But I mean, what started it?
I don't even remember. That was a couple years ago. But if you don't know your neighbor's phone number, how do you ever get a hold of them? So,
I get my neighbor's phone number. Write a note to self.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you never know when something might happen to their home, and you're at home, or.
Did you hear there was a discussion about whether to turn the Ma Barker home into a museum or actually sell it?
I did not know about it.
So you might get a call if they decide to sell it.
Well, that home has been, fixed up.
The bullet holes are filled in?
The bullet holes have been filled in. You can still see where they're at because they were just kind of like spackled over. They weren't really...
Oh, really?
It wasn't fixed correctly. You can still see where they're at, yeah.
So you might get a call from a new homeowner. Hey, can you...
we could do that.
I don't know exactly what happened here, but...
I'm sure they would know. That home's been for sale for a while, though.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
So, okay, so the talk is... I don't know. I don't know if I'd go to that museum. It's just, what would I learn? That bad guys lose?
It's just a neat time in history, I guess.
Is it?
Isn't it? It's history. It's part of history and what happened here.
I guess so. So you've actually been to the house?
Mm-hmm. I wasn't in the house. I could have. I guess I don't know why I didn't. But
did you know that the bodies, the Ma and one of the guys, was laid out in the building that was the Insomniac Theater building?
I didn't. They were put on display?
Well, yeah, it wasn't Insomniac Theater. It was
right.
It was a bank. And I guess that was the place where people came because they had to see for themselves that these two were gone, finally. So the people just come by and say, oh, they're gone.
That was before TV.
Yeah.
That was the news.
Go out and see them.
I believe it.
Yeah. It was. If you go to Jerry's Pawn and Gun, he's got a newspaper article on the wall.
Okay.
That's how I know. So.
See, that could all be part of the museum.
Part of the museum, yeah.
They have that little bar out there, too, at Lake Weir called Ma Barker's.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
You go there?
I have. I've stopped in there.
So, let's see.
It's right across the road, pretty much from Gator Joe's. Not too far from there.
Oh, okay. I passed through there. I don't even know where to look. I always say, I know it's around here somewhere, so now I know where to look.
The house?
Yeah, is the house near the bar?
It's across the street, but it's right next to Gator Joe's. It's, real close to it.
See, I don't even know. Bless you, by the way.
I don't know where that came from. That was loud.
It was just the sneeze of God.
Was that you, Dan?
If you have a question for Joe, maybe you have a do-it-yourself project. Do you ever need supplies that you can't, like with a car, when a car breaks down, like you got to go nuts looking for the 2005 Suzuki whatever, which is mine. But you ever have that with a house? Oh my gosh, I got to get a 1997 house liner or something, or house gutter or something.
Do I have supplies on hand?
Like, do you have to sometimes look for special supplies because of a year of a house?
No, not necessarily.
That doesn't even apply.
No, not really. I mean, there's certain things that, I mean, all homeowners should have, certain things around the house, different screwdrivers and,
I have a butter knife.
No, butter knives work too. Unless it's a Phillips.
You have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe Reichel.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
I have a block house.
Okay.
If I were to want to do away with the block look and do a skin, what's the best way to do that?
Like a stucco?
Well, I don't really necessarily want a stucco, just a plain wall is fine with me. Just fill in those grooves.
Well, pretty much it would be, unless you're, as far as just filling it in, they can do a smooth coat of stucco is basically what you would have, and it's, if it's not necessarily stucco, it'd be called a cementous finish, smooth cementous finish, and it's just to give you a sand, like a layer of concrete on there, and then you could paint it whatever color you wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wouldn't be difficult to do. If you have a block home.
So you don't have to have any kind of screening or anything like that to hold it? Can you just do it on the block?
You could do it directly to the block. I'm assuming your house is painted right now?
Yes, it is now.
They would want to, the stucco guy, that's who would install that, and he would want to probably paint a bonding agent on there in order to, make sure that would adhere correctly, and then you'd be good to go.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's great.
Bye-bye.
See, that's what I always picture the show being, like those kind of questions. That's why. And so what did you call it?
A bonding agent?
But I mean the other word, not the stucco.
Cementous finish.
Cementous finish.
Right. Stucco is a brand, basically.
Oh, okay.
However, a cementous finish is just a cement finish on.
So stucco is a cementous finish. Is that what you're saying? Oh,
yes.
Okay.
But it's the more of a technical process that's done.
I never knew that. So in my mind, when you were telling her, it sounded like she didn't want something as rough as stucco.
Right. And you can have variety of different finishes, textures.
So when we say stucco, we're picturing one thing, but it really could be several things.
And what you're picturing could be completely different than what I'm picturing in my mind.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, there's different patterns, different techniques to do it, and that will leave a different finish. What she's wanting is just a smooth, basically.
A smooth wall,
like an interior wall almost, and that people do that all the time too. Typically, if you do something smooth like that. You can do different type of trim bands or something around your windows just to, or even install shutters afterwards, the plastic or wood shutters, just to spruce it up a little bit.
So, I know we only have a minute, but I in New York, I knew a family that had a basement and they wanted it to be finished. Mm-hmm. They had the cement blocks and they tacked on these little wooden strips and then they put up drywall.
Yep.
Right, and so there must have been maybe a quarter of an inch or less between the concrete blocks and the drywall. And
there probably would have been 3/4 of an inch.
Okay, well, whatever it was.
Those are called furring strips.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, so it sounds like what you're saying, the cementous finish would have been easier and quicker and easier to maintain.
Could have been. Typically, in like any block home, that's what you'll have on the inside. They'll use a 3/4 insulation board, and then they tack a furring strip, which is a 3/4 board, to the block wall on top of the insulation, and then you put your drywall on that. So, that's your interior walls of a block home.
But obviously, you would do that on the outside. That would ruin it. I mean,
well, you could put, if you had a block home and you wanted to put siding on it, for example,
right.
You would put a 3/4. You could put a 3/4 board on there, and then nail your siding onto that. So that would create a something you can nail the siding to.
Because she didn't say inside or outside.
The lady, the caller,
yeah.
She was talking outside.
Oh, she was. Okay.
I'm assuming she was.
Well, Joe, thank you for this.
Thank you.
Now I got to find Ma Barker's home.
We can do that.
What's
Do a
your
little field trip?
What's your phone number?
My phone number is 352-817-6574, or you can call me Joe. You can email me, joe@damageflorida, all spelled out, damageflorida.com.
Thank you. This is WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The top leader of an extremist group in Somalia under fire by our military after the group carried out an attack on an interrogation center in Mogadishu over the weekend.
A senior U.S. defense official tells Fox News the target of the U.S. airstrike was the leader of al-Shabaab, a Somali who goes by the name of Ahmed Abdi Godan. In 2012, the U.S. put a $7 million reward for information on Godan's head.